I'm Roger Mills. I'm here with Eric Johns,
Hey, Roger.
one of the masterminds behind CG&J in Gadsden, Alabama. We're fortunate enough, of course, to have them here located in this market. They service companies all over the world with heat exchange products. And we're going to be talking today about a pretty unique thing that they do in the industry that may not be known out there. So, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it because every time I do it's like pronouncing a surgical tool. But it's called DPF, and it's a process, and we'll be talking about the product. But we're going to start with, let's talk about the history of the business first.
Okay.
And how y'all got into where you are today.
Well, our business, Bryce Thomas Radiator, that's what we're known locally, was founded in 1956, and it was founded by, really it was my wife's grandfather, and his name is Bryce Thomas. That's who he was. Mm-hmm. And he started the radiator business. He had two sons, David and Laverl. David is my father-in-law, and they worked with him in the business, and it was in a downtown location in Gadsden. And then about, I guess it was about 1990, I believe, that Bryce had already passed away, and his two sons, David and Laverl, had taken over as far as owning the business, and they got ready to retire. And so they approached myself and my two brother-in-laws about purchasing the business, and so we were already working here in various capacities, and we bought the business. Wrote them a check every Friday for 6.5 years till we got them paid off. Mm-hmm. And so, and then of course when we took over the business, we had to form a corporation, and that's where CG&J came about. CG&J is the name of our corporation, and we do business as Bryce Thomas Radiator and AC Service, and that's where we are today.
It's amazing. Which again, as the business has grown for many, many years, over 20 years, of course, that they have gone from the repair business of the local Honda, right, or Chevy or Ford, whatever it may be, mm-hmm, in their car, to doing everything from military tanks to a Yugo, yeah, to a Caterpillar, to a John Deere of any kind.
Yeah.
Well, to anything but a toaster oven.
That's right.
So
that's it, exactly.
That's about right.
That's right.
So something we're here today, our focus this month has been on heavy duty equipment, and something that's very interesting that y'all do, DPF.
Right.
And those of you, of course, in the industry know what that is, but we're going to be talking a little bit more in depth about your process with that. So let's talk about what DPF is first. All
right, DPF is kind of an acronym for Diesel Particulate Filter, and this filter, which we have one right here that we're showing, and this is a dirty one. We're going to have to process this and service this one today. Is located on the exhaust side of the engine. And what this filter does, it's kind of like a catalytic converter on an automobile, on a gas-burning automobile. This part right here that you see that's so dirty is a ceramic. It's type of a ceramic. It's got real small holes in it. And as the exhaust passes through here, it collects a lot of soot and a lot of dirty stuff that gets up in the air. And this is something that's mandated by the federal government as far as, cutting back on pollutions and emissions that get into the air from combustion engines. Now, what happens here is over time, these get stopped up. And when they get stopped up, then the engine goes into what is called, it deregulates. It basically just shuts down. I've heard horror stories from one of our customers that one of their trucks went into deregulation mode, and they had about a 25-mile trip that they had to finish to get to their shop at 5 miles an hour. How much fun is that? 5 miles an hour is as fast as that truck would go. And that was an all-day trip right there just to get 20-something miles down the road. And so it's very important that they get clean. They're very expensive. They can cost up to $7,000-8,000. And we have a process here that we do that we can clean these and get them back to just about like new.
So how does one get these to you?
Well, there's two different ways. We have some people that ship them in to us. Some people bring them to us, and then on occasion we will go and pick them up. You know, if they're local. Now we have. I've got two pictures right here of one. You know, the most unique things never happen when you've got a camera available. And so these came in last week, Roger. These came from a customer over on the coast over in Georgia. And this was out of a Caterpillar 3412. It was the engine generator, a genset unit. And it had 8 of these DPF filters in it. I mean, it was a big job. And this is what it looked like when we got it. And you can see on the side, it's got some kind of material, fabric or cloth. It's like the fabric that's used in a turnout jacket that firemen wear or these NASCAR pit guys wear. You know, it's a real fire retardant, heat resistant material around the side of it, and you can see how dirty and greasy and oily it was. And then right here, after we got through with our process, this is what it looked like. It looks like it's as white as the snow that we got. You know, we just got a dusting, and it ended up being, what, about 3 inches of ice, wasn't it? Yeah. It's bad stuff. But, and we were able to get it back. Customers absolutely thrilled. The engine's back and running, and
so if I find out that I've got to have mine cleaned, just to that point, and either I ship it here or bring it here, which are located off 759 here in Gadsden, right off 59. My question is, if I bring it here today, what's my turnaround time? What's the time?
Turnaround time, the cleaning cycle. It's an automated cleaning cycle, and as we get into this, we're going to show you the equipment that we use. It takes an 8-hour heat cycle or a bake. It goes in a furnace, and it takes 8 hours to ramp up to temperature and then ramp back down to where you can at least pick it up and hold it. It's going to take about 8 to 10 hours. So if we got something in today, we would do the preliminary inspection on it, and then we would put it in the furnace. And tomorrow morning when we come back to work, you know, we would open the furnace up, get it out, blow it off, and be ready to go back on your truck. No excuse why you couldn't be working and making money tomorrow afternoon. Wow. How about that?
And not only that, but I guess if you're talking about now of course I'm going to go ahead and date this. This is in January of 2014, yes. So don't mistake in that. If you're talking about a $7,000 to $8,000 new piece, right? You're talking about a $300 to $500 cleaning. That's a huge savings and getting me back on the road making money.
Correct. I don't know if you're going to be making money. Here, these truckers, they're not making any money, but at least you're back on the road.
Back on the road. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get you out of the house within 24 hours. How's that? Is that better?
I got you. All right. Guys, thanks, of course, Eric, as always, to be with us. And it is always a pleasure. I hope you got a lot out of today, some history, of course, about the business, and learned about what DPF is and the process to getting yours clean and you back on the road. So stick around. Of course, we'll have Eric back and talk about some other products.